Well, a very good evening to all the members present here. We once again welcome you all in the ninth chapter of Alumni Connect, a webinar on the topic Virtual Tour to the IT World. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Naveen Kaushik, IRO, to welcome the speaker in the webinar. May I request Naveen, sir?
Thank you, Ayush.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
It's audible.
Okay. Very good evening to each and everyone here, all the attendees, and our speaker. Today's our speaker, one more very talented alumni of MIT Meerut, SURBHI Singh from I think 2015 batch of IT branch. I extend my hearty welcome to SURBHI, who will take all of us to a virtual visit of IT world. This is the topic she has decided to deliver the session for today. Ms. SURBHI Singh, please continue the session. And this session is exclusively handled by SURBHI. SURBHI was a part of earlier, I think fourth or fifth session. But this session will be exclusively handled by SURBHI. SURBHI, please continue the session.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Ayush sir and Naveen sir for giving me this opportunity so that I can put forth my views, which would help our juniors and the other fellow members. So I would like to present on the topic virtual tour to the IT industry because I guess that is an important topic which should be touched. So I have started sharing my screen and sir, if you can confirm that you are able to see the screen and I can start.
Yes, will be your screen visible perfectly. Not an issue.
Thank you, sir. So yes, as Naveen sir introduced, my name is SURBHI Singh and I am MIT 2015 batch pass out from IT branch. And today I would like to present on the topic virtual visit to the IT world. So let's get started on it. So does IT fascinates you? First question which comes to everyone's mind before we dive into the IT industry is, does IT fascinates you? And if so, then let's dive into it. Before moving forward, I would like to present you all an organization which I have worked upon. And I would like to show you all a video of how, internally an organization looks like and all how does IT, how does IT, and I mean, fascinates all of us. So not sure if you will be able to you will be able to listen to the audio, but I guess you'll be able to see the video. So this is the 2 minutes video, and I guess this is a must watch. So this was about the my last organization which was working upon, and I hope you all have enjoyed the video which I just shown you, because that is what I like about it. So this is how an IT industry looks. So let's go ahead. So this is a basic descriptive about how is office life, because when I was in another webinar and I got a question from one of you is like that, so be how is the office life? Is it too much pressure, or it is very very light environment, or how it is? So I guess some of you have got the crux of out of the video, that how it is like, and other I would like to emphasize on few of the points. So first and foremost important point is it actually depends from organization to organization. But if you talk about me from my point of view, it's amazing, because I, being a person, I always wanted to work into an IT industry. So it fascinates me a lot. So in my words, I would say it's amazing. Second, we have trips, we have parties, we have tournaments, we have outings, we have birthday celebrations, we have contests talking about tech and non-tech both, and we have award functions. The like the video I have shown you. So that was, it's like it's the soul of Cvent. Cvent was the organization which I worked in earlier. So yeah, one more disclaimer over here is I'm not promoting any of the organization. I could have shown you the video of Google, Adobe, Microsoft, but then it is like I am going to show you the best. But some people might think about it that what if I don't get into the Google? Will I get the same environment in another organization? So I thought to pick up a mediocre level of organization so that you'll be able to get a clear picture, or at least you'll be able to link to it. Otherwise, I would have picked up any big giant, any tech giant, and I've shown you like that. So that was the organization where I have worked upon, and I really found it, very nice. Then other things, yeah, I'll resume to this slide. So the other things is like we get foods, we get snacks, we get pick and drop facility, we get, for example, if birthday celebrations, we get birthday cards, birthday chocolates, cakes, and everything. That is what I mean. You get into, these are actually, I would say, a supporting factor which motivates you, which sometimes made you feel good that you are working in a good organization. And other than just work, 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 to get you involved, to get optimized from you, company provides you such facility. And if you ask me, yeah, I like it. In just 3 words, yes, I like all these things. So this was all positive, positive. Then definitely there is something negative about each and every field. There are pros and cons of each and everything. So what negative I can tell you about is, like, there is a lot of politics. Favoritism is definitely there. You'll find the work pressure, yes, it is, and then late night work and meetings. Yeah, it is not that much. It actually depends on your role, your job profile, and everything, and also on the deliverables. For example, if you have some deliverables coming in, then definitely you have to stretch for the meetings and for the work. Then it's, as I said, pros and cons are there, and it depends on an individual if he or she can handle it. But that is what I would say, that is a journey. Like, if I talk about, I quote one line here, like a straight line on ECG means you are dead. So if you don't have everything, positive will not work, everything negative will won't work. So it's a mix of two, and that is how an individual's life goes. Now, other than that, let's get into a bit technical thing now. So there are few jargons which you must have gone through when you are either in your college life or you enter into an industry. So there are basically, before entering into an industry, you must know these things. So first is that what are the different types of industry? See, everything this is on the basis of my personal experience. I didn't know any of this. So I thought that this is an important aspect which everyone should know before they took a decision to enter into an organization. They should at least know this thing. So I thought to include this in my PPT. So first is like type of IT industry. So there are basically two types of industry. One is service based industries and other are the product based industries. So now what are service based industries? So service based companies build software or products only when a customer approaches them and ask for a software to be authored according to his needs. Means they are customer driven organization. They do not have a product of their own. right? If a customer approaches them, they build a product and then they deliver it to the customer. So basically project based organization, they are called as service based industries. Second are product based industry. Product based on the other hand already has a product which they sell to a wide range of customers or clients. Example of service based industries are TCS, Wipro, Capgemini, and many more. Product based are Google, Microsoft, Adobe, and Cvent. Second is service, I mean, again, then there is stable job. Yeah, service based, they provide you a bit stable job. Means you can surely spend 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years in an organization in a service based, and there are more on-site opportunities in service based organization. Like you must have listened that, okay, he she or xyz person, he works in TCS and Wipro and just post 3 years or 4 years he got the on-site opportunity. Because service based, they work for the customers, so customers call them onto their location and they have more opportunities for on-site. Coming to the product based, they are comparatively less stable job and they have less on-site opportunities. They have less on-site opportunities because they do not deal with the customers. So I mean, it may not be that much easy to understand, but we can have, if you have any questions, we can take them at the last. So then it's slow growth. Yeah, if you talk about like when I was in a Wipro, so I was like that, okay, they have a predefined time period. For example, they say that, okay, you have just 3 years of experience or just 4 years of experience. With 4 or 5 years, you can be at max a team lead. You cannot go beyond that. So comparatively, to become a manager or to become a lead, you should have at least, manager or group manager, you should have at least an experience of 15, 20 years. So that's how they define it. But into the product based, it is a good growth, means they fairly judge you on the basis of your performance. Even though if you have a less experience, you can easily grow, you can easily, step up on that ladder. Yeah, experience does matter, but they do not have any hardcore protocol that with basically a hardcore protocol. And also they are updated with the latest tools and technology. And definitely an important point is good CTC is offered by the product based industry. Second, and I mean an important last point is good training periods. Like for example, TCS, Wipro, and other service based, they have a training period. They have a training schedule for all of us. So it's like 3 months or 4 months, and on the basis of the role offered to you, they'll provide you a training, so that when you get into a project, you should be, a bit of practice that how you are going to work. So they prepare you for the upcoming projects. And it's like that, all like you have heard about that this is a corporate life, and we wanted to enjoy that thing, we wanted to get that feel of the corporate life. You'll surely get that in service based. But when it comes to the product based, they'll give you the KT on the basis of what their product is, but you won't get that rich feeling of a corporate industry, right? You'll get the KT and you'll be directly enrolled into the uh, product and into the product. So if I talk about, you get into the main line up pretty quick as compared to the service based thing. And also into the terms of infra, so other than the tier one organization, most of the product base, they does not invest more onto the infra, right? They have, comparatively, if you compare them with the, TCS, Wipro, and other big MNCs, they usually have the small infra. They do not hire you, they do not provide you that much, uh, I would say, on in the terms of infra only. But in the terms, I mean, other pros and cons comes into picture. So this was a basic difference between the service based and the product based. Now let's come to it, that how to start. Means if you're preparing for an for interview or to get into an IT industry, then how you can start onto that. So first is like, then first target the company on the basis of the previous slide. You can figure it out whether you want a service based company or you want a product based organization. Every individual have a different taste and have different priorities. So first try to figure it out that which organization you want to get into. Second is, irrelevant of any of the organization, be active on the LinkedIn and Naukri.com. These are basically the job portals. And yes, many of the organizations, they hire on, like if I talk about specifically product based organizations, then they majorly hires via LinkedIn. That's a very good platform. And for the webinars and different things, I guess, I mean, to get more into the technical field, one or the other one should get get an account over the LinkedIn, and should, update it periodically. Then is try joining some WhatsApp groups, connect with the seniors, alumni for better exposure to the organization or to the jobs and the roles which are there in the market. Then coordinate with your friends, relatives, family members, and try to get more and more knowledge about the companies. I would like to share my personal experience here. Like when I was in my final year, I didn't know much of the organization. All I know is I have heard about the TCS Wipro, and I was like, okay, these are the two top companies which I wanted to go into, and I didn't know about the much about the other organization. But when I get into the industry, I left Wipro in an year only because that wasn't suiting me. So it's like I did not have much exposure to it. Otherwise, I thought I would have performed a much better. So it's like try to gather more and more thing. It's not just only TCS and Wipro. There is much more in the IT industry. Second, and the last point is prepare according to the organization you are applying for. For example, by any chance you got a call from Naukri or LinkedIn for an organization, and you don't know that I've never heard about this organization. There are pretty much like Sprinkler is there. I guess this not a much common name. T Systems is there, and Cvent, which I have worked in, and other. I mean, other product-based good organizations are there. But how will you come to know when you got a call from such company and you don't know that? Okay, I've never heard about this. Google it. There is a very important, and I mean a very good website over there. It's Glassdoor. Every technical guy, or mostly every technical guy, is similar to you say the LinkedIn is common for job posting and webinars, and Glassdoor is famous for the Q&As. So if you wanted to see the reviews of any organization, go to the Glassdoor, check its reviews, check the feedback points, and then decide accordingly. Google reviews are also there, so you can go for both of them. But Glassdoor is an important aspect to look into an organization. I mean, if you wanted to see, because Glassdoor basically it's a platform, it's a website where the experienced professionals share their reviews about an organization, the pros and cons. So that will help you a lot. Then coming to the next is the overview of the preparation. So for example, from a small to average organization. So for example, a small to average organization comes with the product base in terms of product base and also in terms of service base. So the points listed below are for product base and service base to the medium level. So for example, you need to focus more on the concepts like OOPS, common programs, we all know, aptitude, analytics, SQL DB basically, and memory management. So this is for service based or small product based organization. This, see, the points which I have mentioned here, this will lead you to grab a job at least in an organization. I mean, if you have done these many things, so there is a strong probability that you'll get into the IT industry. For the companies like TCS and Wipro, it is difficult to get shortlisted because they hire in bulk, first of all, and secondly, like they prefer campus recruitment, and usually like off campus and on campus recruitment. So they hire in bulk, at a fresher level, especially. So like post 2 or 3 experience, it's easy to get into the industry, but at a fresher level, company prefers on campus opportunities. So it is a bit difficult to get shortlisted if you are not in on campus. Then for mid-level product based organization, there is a one important point is you have to have a good knowledge of the project you have worked upon. Means your third year's project, your fourth year project. Because service, I'm not because when I faced the interview for the Wipro, I was never asked a question on the project I was worked upon. But service based, they are definitely very much interested. Sorry, product based, they are very much interested into projects you have worked upon. They, for them, the college name doesn't matter much, but they analyze you that, if you have done a project, how much in-depth knowledge do you have about it. Basically, they analyze you. And the last important point is important to have confidence in you. Now comes to the tier one organization preparation. So this I'm talking about is basically your Google, Microsoft, Adobe tier one product based organization. What do they ask in the interview? You should focus on high level programs. It's like that. Sometime I've heard that they have asked to implement the Digistra's algorithm. They never ask you the programs of the palindrome, Armstrong, Fibonacci. Even now, service based doesn't ask such questions. So they ask you to implement the algorithms. They ask you to optimize the code. Such level of approach. Second, sorry. Second, you should be strong enough in aptitude, analytics skill, SQL and NoSQL databases. We all know about the, like we say that, okay, we have one NF, two NF, three NF form. Those all comes under the SQL, but we do not know that what is NoSQL databases. So MongoDB, Cassandra, and these are the few, there are few more DBs, which are basically NoSQL database. Product-based tier one organization does ask about them. Then it's the algorithms, as I told, the DA algorithm. Either they'll ask you to, basically they'll ask you to implement them. And then comes your data structures and memory management. One important point is that they never, tier one, I mean, any of the organization, they just see your approach. In case they are giving you a difficult question, they do not want you to solve it. What they wanted to see is the approach, like which data structure you are using to implement an algorithm. And then they are going to, you know, uh, turn you around in the like why you have chosen an array and why you are not using a hash map. You should be able to know the differences between them. They just wanted to see your approach and how much clear are you about and how much confident are you. Even though you say that, okay, no, I guess array is a better option than hash map or hash set, then you should be confident enough so that you can explain that person that why I've used this approach and why am I correct in this situation. So that is approach is important, not the solution. Then second is special focus on the puzzles. They ask you a lot of puzzles in the questions. So like when I went for an interview with the Adobe, I was being asked the question that you have a 9 elevators and write an algorithm so that each member reaches on each floor in minimum number of time. So again, that was a puzzle, but they wanted to see the approach. So this was an example. If you wanted to Google about it, you'll get a lot of videos onto in the internet or on the YouTube, like what puzzles are being asked. But remember, tier one organization are very famous in puzzles. Then should have strong basics, as I told, that their main focus is how much clear your data structures is. Second, detailed discussion on the projects done in final year. Yeah, you are going to, maybe you can have a separate round for the project discussion, or maybe in 2 to 3 rounds you are being asked again and again on the projects you have worked in final years, because they are very much interested into it. Then most importantly is they hire majorly by reference or LinkedIn. Now deep diving into the interview process. So again, here we have a disclaimer that interview processes keep on changing. So it's not this static, but like from what all interviews I have given in my life or like my friends have appeared, I've concluded it. So first round is like usually this is for the service based. So first round is the group discussion. So it happens in Wipro or for example IBM, and that is for the on campus and off campus, because the people appearing, the candidates basically appearing in the Wipro, they are in bulk. So these are called the big elimination round. So they usually eliminate a lot of candidates in these rounds. Then comes your other is aptitude round, which is taken by TCS. At least in our time, it was I guess 5 years back. So we did not have GD when we appeared for the TCS, and it was an aptitude round. So these both, first round is basically an elimination round. Then second comes your aptitude round. This was a big elimination round for Wipro. They eliminate a lot of people in the written round. Then it's coming for the TCS. They did not have the second round. I mean, they had the first round as the written, and the second one was PI. The third round in the Wipro we had was the essay writing, and it was non-elimination round. Whereas in TCS we have the PI round, and in the fourth round it was PI round. So this was like it's more or less same for every organization. This is not a fixed, but at least what I can conclude for the overall all the organization is first or two rounds. I mean, first two rounds you'll be having more of the FT, and then second you post that you'll have the PI rounds. And that's more or less same for every organization. Now it's continued, and this is for the product base. Product based organization, how do they have their rounds? First is written. Written round is again a technical, and this is an elimination round. Or maybe you'll have a written exam aptitude and elimination round. Second round, sometimes they have is for the English and the personality round. This is also an elimination round, but not to that extent. But I have seen people, getting rejected from this as well. Third is your PI round, and this is a very important elimination round. Even if you qualify these two, there is a strong probability that a person, gets rejected in this round. Now, questions comes in. Then, what do they ask in this? They ask is coding, your project, what you have worked upon, data structures, and small concepts. And also, again, then it depends upon the which role you are applying for. So, for example, if you're going for a QA role, they are going to ask you the terminologies like the black box testing, white box testing, approaches, and everything. And most importantly is they are definitely going to ask you the coding questions, at least 2 to 3 coding questions in this PI round. That is why this is the most elimination round, because what people does is what candidates does is they cram the coding questions, and if they'll be able to find it out that you have crammed that logic, strong possibility that the person will be eliminated. So most importantly, elimination. Then four is your, again they will be having a PI round. So this is usually taken by a team member, or I would say a team lead, and this is usually taken. The fourth round is taken by a manager. So again, he or she is going to ask you coding question, but not in depth. So if I talk in terms of duration, third round will be around an hour or an 1.5 hour, and the fourth round will be around 45 to 1 hour. And they'll try to make you comfortable, and again they can ask you some of the puzzles, and then they can the coding, small coding questions, not that much in depth. And the final round is either they can have one more round as a director round, and then finally the HR round, or keep the director round and the HR round. This is from a fresher's point of view. For if you go higher in the experience, the number of rounds and the level of difficulty increases. Now this is for the tier one organization, like the, as I told, Google, Adobe, Microsoft, and such tech giants, Expedia and all. So it is, first of all, it is very difficult to get entry as a freshers because they prefer IITs and NIT student. So yeah, so then your first round they have is written, and that have a very good technical level difficulty. What do they ask in that round is, I have quoted a organization name which is Microsoft, and what Microsoft asks from a fresher is they'll give you 3 coding questions, the solution will be there, and you have to optimize the code. So whenever they ask you to optimize the code, they basically ask you to play with the data structures. So that's from where your interview starts. Second is your PI. In PI, they are going to ask you on the solutions which you have provided in the first round. Yeah, also from 3 questions, they what to get shortlisted, you should at least have one code correct and one without any syntactical errors. So if I talk about 50% of the code should be there. Otherwise, it is difficult to crack that interview. Then second is PI round. What happens in the PI coding, and then the concepts like which approach you have used while answering those coding questions and why you have chosen that. You should be able to justify your approach. Then again, very important is puzzles and a deep dive interview on the project which you have worked upon. They are very much interested into it, and they are going to ask each and every question about the project. Then third round is again a PI round. they have a detailed discussion on the projects and coding. This is again an elimination round. So first round is the first very important elimination round. Second, again, high chances of getting eliminated. Since you reach to the third round, the chances of getting eliminated reduces. But these two rounds are PI rounds, basically means the elimination round. Fourth round comes with the manager. That will again be a PI round. The number of questions gets repeated. It's not like that why they are asking the coding questions again and again, but they do ask. I mean, coding first three rounds or first two rounds, there will be coding questions. Then it's like two, three coding questions into in the fourth round, not going into that depth, and then again on your project. Fifth is more basically the director round, and there you usually have a discussion over the projects, not much. And the last will be your HR round. So yeah, also like the code which all this I have told about the tier one organization is basically what has happened, what Microsoft have taken, and that was for the campus recruitment. I'm not very much pretty sure about that. What is the interview process when you get selected other than the campus recruitment at a fresher level? Because there are not much people who actually gets a call from such organizations at a fresher level. So this is what was being asked for the campus recruitment in one of the institute. Then some more tips to get into the industry. It's again that be active on the job portals, Naukri and LinkedIn. Then ask to refer you. Yeah, again, important point is that companies, basically tier one organization, they prefer the referrals. First and foremost important thing is they prefer the referrals. So if you wanted to get into such organization, you need to have a strong contacts in the industry. And how you can have is, if you're any of your known person is there, very good. But if you are like me and I do not have any good referral, I mean none of my relatives or any personal person works in a tier one organization, then it's LinkedIn. Do not hesitate sending the LinkedIn request, because what is the benefit of it is that if you send a request to a person who works in a tier one organization, then you get into the network of every person who was there in that person's list. So for example, that is how HR get your reference. And trust me, I have got like five or six big organizations link, I mean basically for the job openings via LinkedIn only. So that is why my main emphasize, I emphasize you to have a LinkedIn account. Then important thing is, yeah, you can go for the exams like MCAT. And I've quoted few of the organization which I know for sure, like Wipro. Even if you give explicitly MCAT, or if you go for an on campus, Wipro's on campus written exam is being done by MCAT. So MCAT has a tie-up with Wipro. E-litmus, so like companies like Cisco and Boeing, they usually see your e-litmus score. And then there is a course, I guess it's a kind of a diploma with this, which is CDAC. And I have seen few of my friends getting into Amdocs. It's again a good product-based organization. And Wipro, they have been into these organizations via CDAC. So that's again a good option. You can go to it. Then again, how more you can apply is, you can go to the company's website and there is a career option with every. So like if you talk about type www.mdocs.com, you'll get into the company's website and there will be options like either careers or apply or something, where you can see the job postings for the different roles, and you can apply through them. Yeah, it is actually a difficult at the fresher level to get shortlisted with this option, but you can try for it. There is no harm in trying. And the other important point is, do not sit with one job in hand. Keep striving until you get the best. Now this is few roles. I mean, what if you get an offer from two or three organizations, or just with the one organization, and you are not able to decide whether it's a good choice to go for it or not? So I thought that you should have a knowledge of what different designations and different roles mean when they are written in your offer letter. So first is software engineer. The one in the greens are definitely, you should not say no to these roles, because these are the roles which have high demands. And when I say high demand, that means from the future point of view, post 2 years or 3 years, when you go out into the market to switch your role, or you will be an asset. You will be a asset with a good value. So do if you get an opportunity for such roles, then you can definitely go for them. First is the software engineer. Software engineer basically means a dev role, and this is definitely a secured job. And I mean, I would say that go for it. Second is software tester or QA or project engineer. So now if you see about, I have highlighted QA. So QA is basically quality analyst, and what it means is it means automation and testing. If someone offers you a manual testing role, say no to it, because manual testing is a role which is going to be obsolete in the coming, I would say, 3 to 4 years max, because many of the organizations have already stopped hiring for it. There is no future for the manual testing. So do not accept the offer letter for that. Even if you get, if I mean, then the conditions apply, like some may have a personal constraint or something else, or you are in a need of a job, then surely you can go for it. But if you have time and patience, then wait for a better opportunity. So I would say if you have a QA opportunity, you can go for it, but avoid manual testing. Third is the SDET role. SDET is the upcoming role in the technology, and it's a kind of a dev plus QA. So the replacement of first two roles is the third one, and it's very important role. If you get an opportunity to work as an SDET, accept it, because that's the future. And many of the tech giants or the big organization hires SDET only. They neither hire software engineer, they nor hire QAs. Okay, some different role is DB engineer. So DB engineer is basically, as name says, database engineer, and they are the database experts. You know, when you talk about the percentage, a database engineer role is comparatively less in terms of the QAs and devs. There are less number of people, I would say, I guess 10 or 20% only, but that's a good role. So if in case you are getting that offer, you can accept it. That's a safe side, a good job. Then comes your app support. App support is basically means application support. I, from my personal point of view, do not accept that job, because that's a support. And secondly, what you are going to do is you won't be involved in the development, neither in the testing. What you will be doing is you will be just managing the application, nothing else. And also you will be having shift, and those shift can be midnight shift and rotational shifts. Basically 3 months, you have to work like from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m., or your shift may start from 12 a.m. midnight till 9 a.m. So if you are comfortable, I mean, it again depends on an individual. Talking about me, I do not like such jobs. So I would recommend that do not go for those jobs. From the learning point of view also, you don't have much learning in that role. Then there is another thing is SRE role. SRE is basically site reliability engineer. That is a very good role and very highly technical. So it basically combines software engineering with IT system management. Means you'll be managing the servers, you will be managing the services where the application is being hosted, IP addressing. You'll be basically working on the network layer. And it's, I mean, it's a very people usually from the, I mean, from the core, I would say people usually from the big institutes, I don't did not want you to quote that word, but people usually from the big institutes, like you say IITs and NITs, companies prefer them, because this is a a very much highly technical job. But if in case you are getting, this is wonderful. You will be having in-depth knowledge of everything, so go, definitely go for it. And then it's data scientist, data engineer, data analyst. This is a bit not off the track, but these are the new roles which are coming in the industry, and they are definitely in demand. In terms of package also, they will definitely, you can get a good package in these. And these are basically, I mean, these are kind of similar roles, but it means that you'll be playing with the data. And then a future is there in terms of the machine learning and AI, that is enhanced version of on these. Then continued on is there are full stack developer roles. So what is a full stack developer? A full stack developer is a web developer or engineer who works with both the front end and the back end of a website or an application. Organizations nowadays prefer full stack developers like Amazon, and because I have a few contacts who are working as a full stack developer in Amazon. So definitely yes for that role, very much in demand in the future. Second is full stack QE. Similar to full stack developer, it's full stack QE and engineer comfortable. So what is a full stack QE is engineer comfortable working across all application layers. So basically a QA, it only works on the UI level, but a full stack QE works on the integration level as well and on the UI layer as well. And sometimes, unit testing is also done by a full stack QE. So one who is comfortable with coding and everything, you can definitely go for this role. Then comes your RM, release manager. Strict no to this role. You will be directly put into the managerial role. You will be handling the deliverables of an organization, and post 3 or 4 years, your asset value will be zero. You won't be able to compete in the industry. So, no to this role. Then, technical and non technical support. I would say no to this role as well because, as I said, you will be having the shifts, and in the long run, it would be very difficult for you to compete with the other, because once you get into the industry, you have to be into the niche. Otherwise, it would be very difficult. So I would say no. And the other one is again sales. I would say no because there is no future growth. Post you reaches to a package of 5 or 6, companies, they won't give you hike because no one want to invest more than 50, 60 thousands on a salesperson, because I mean they do not feel it that to a salesperson who's just getting the business for an organization, there is no value for them to, I should invest 1 lakh per month on that person. Rather than I would discard that person and I'll hire one person at 1/5 or 1/4 of that package. So there is no future growth in sales. See, one disclaimer again here is I do not say that right that whatever I am saying is the correct thing, but I have seen there are a few person in my contact who are in sales who get a very good incentives and they are earning a handsome amount. But if you talk about majority of the people, I mean, always exceptions are always there. I cannot say that you cannot do wonders in sales. Definitely you can do it, but be mentally prepared for the worst. Then many of you, I mean, this came to my mind when I was in the like in my final year, that what if I couldn't make it. So firstly is, it may take time, but you can do it. It's not that difficult. You can do it. The thing is, you must know how to do it, and that is what I have explained in my previous slides. So it's not that much difficult. Second is, even though if you get into a startup initially, always remember after 2 years or so, you will be having a good knowledge. And then you can switch to a better company. Anytime you have the option, you can switch for a better company. Just keep learning. And I would say that it's never, the end. You can always start. I mean, even I have switched 4 organization in 5 years. So it's never like I've been to service based, I've been to product based, I've worked in startups and everything. So it's like I have taste of all. So it's like never think that if I landed in startup, I do not have a future. It's not like that. Post 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, you can switch and you can get into any of the organization. Just focus on your learnings. Third is, it is easy to switch with an experience of 2 to 4 years because the interview level is not that much difficult. Interviews will be fairly as you were giving when you were a fresher. And also, you will have a good market value by the time, means you can ask for a good hike. Then do not settle for less than what you deserve. Means always what we have is like when we have one offer in our hand, then we say that okay, now I have got the offer. No, keep giving the interviews, you'll get the experience. And one of my colleague, he was just 2 or 2.5 years of experience, and he was having 13 offer letters in his hand. So that was a wow number. And that is what I learned from him. Even though he was my junior, he told me that, Subi, never ever sit with one offer letter in your hand. Keep giving interviews, keep giving interviews. So that is what I learned from him, that when the time he was on his last day, he was having 13 offer letters, and that too all from big companies. And he was at that time he was trying for the Microsoft. So do not settle for less than what you deserve. And the last foremost important point is focus on learning. As I said, it's not that difficult. Stay positive and confident. At the last, yes, you can. This is the end of the story. This is the crux. So any questions now from anyone? I have seen, I saw people are raising hands. So I see that Vikalp has asked, ma'am, are you still working in this organization? No, I have left that organization, and being very clear, compensation was the main reason. I was looking for a good hike, so I left that organization. I somewhat disagree with your opinion on stability of job and service based. How often you hear that Google, Microsoft, Adobe are sacking people, while on the other hand, my Capgemini reduced 1,000 headcounts. Yes, TCS 2-3 years back, TCS fired employees. I believe it is other way around. Definitely, you are talking about. See, you are talking about tech giants. It's true that the company fires, but have I I can give my opinion on this is that TCS on the number of you should see the percentage of the employee. TCS does fire, or the Capgemini does fire 10,000 headcounts, but most of them are from the app support and from the sales team. They never fire technical people. But when you come to the product based organization, they hire the technical people as well. So it's in terms of stability, bad times can hit any of the organization. But if you talk about majority, then it's the product based company that does a hard hit. Obviously Adobe, Google, Microsoft, they are the companies whose revenues is in billions. But if you talk about like organization morely service based, then if you talk about in the terms of the percentage, then product based is the one that fires most. Ma'am, is there any best non-programming job after BTech? I would say yes, there are non-programming jobs as well, like the one I told about the RMs, the release manager. But the thing is that the number of release managers in an organization is comparatively less. Also, non-programming job is manual testing. So as I told that the future asset value decreases. Also, there are multiple courses like Scrum Master. Non-programming jobs basically comes when you have experience. I guess there are some content writer jobs, as technical writer job are also there. I am not that much aware about it, but definitely there are jobs, and surely you can Google about them. Okay, ma'am, I'm learning full stack development from NIIT Meerut, and now I wanted to go for a higher education. Should I go for a higher education, or if I got a job, I go for a job? I got offer letter from Hudson Bangalore as software developer. So, Priya, it's actually, first of all, the congratulations. You already have a job offer in your hand. It's, personally your call. If you think I guess since you have already got the very good offer and you still have the confidence in yourself, ask that question. If I say that, okay, you already have a secure job in your hand, why don't you go for it? That won't be a right answer. If you think you have that guts, if you have that urge of learning, go for a higher education. You can definitely go for it. But if if you think that I even I'm in that dilemma, the one you are in. But people go for my fellow colleagues, like they have left very good organizations like Oracle, Wipro, Cvent, Adobe, many big organizations, and they have gone for higher education. Because if you go for a higher, for example, you are getting 10 lakhs of package right now. If you go for a higher education and you are once you are again back in, then your asset value will again going to increase. Also, it depends upon which course you are going, you're enrolled in, from which university. But definitely going for a higher education is a good option. Doesn't matter, jobs come and go. It's not like that. You can get the job even when you get a higher education. So don't restrain yourself. If you are willing to, definitely go for it. There are plenty of jobs in the market. Ma'am, on which technology you are working on? I'm currently working as an SDET in a startup. I've recently switched, and due to COVID, I was actually giving interviews by that time, and I had two offers in my hand from the startup. But since COVID hit at that time, so job openings, paused, and I landed into a startup. Once the market will be up, I'll again strive into a good product-based organization, but at least I'm satisfied with the package, which, because for me, as I told, every individual have a different uh, priorities. For me, the priority was always been the package and the work which I'm working upon. I'm getting both of them in the startup, so I'm happy with the job which I have in my hand. And I'm trying to get at least one appraisal in this organization. And once, no problem, once the condition will turn worst, there are many organizations, I'll switch. Can we get a better opportunity in a small college? That's a very good question. And when I was in the when I was not able to get into any of a reputed college, I was very much broken down. Because what I have heard always is that people from good colleges are the ones who get the good job. I do not have anyone in my family member as an engineer, and what I have learned today is on the basis of my experiences only. So I would suggest it's all on the basis of your knowledge. I have seen people from the IITs who are not getting placed anywhere. And when I was working into the Adobe, I have worked with them who came from the reputed college. So it's again on your talent, on your skills, on your learning capabilities. College only matters when you are a fresher or you are trying to enter into an industry. Once you are into the industry, nobody is going to ask you from which college you are. And also, there are very good organizations, especially in the product based market. If I talk about, they do not ask you that which college you are coming from. They see your resume, and if you have anything very good in your resume, or even with the mediocre, you will you will get anything you want. Just keep on working hard. College name doesn't matter. It just matter when you are a fresher. Otherwise, you can get into any of the organization. It doesn't matter. Your knowledge matters. Ma'am, any scope for civil engineers in corporate world? So it is like you know I guess it depends on the jobs. I have seen very less job first for the civil engineers, and also, the people I have interacted so far in my journey, very few of them were civil engineers. So, it is difficult, but then again, as I say, it is difficult, but it's not impossible. Maybe if you wanted to secure a job into an IT industry, you need to learn something at least for the IT industry. Because from a civil engineer, see, if you talk about, you're trying to enter into an IT industry with the civil engineer knowledge, it is definitely difficult. So I guess you need to have something, or maybe you need to target the industry, the companies which are specifically for the civil engineers. I do not, remember any of the organization as of now who hires the civil engineers. So I would say, then again, go to the LinkedIn, explore, Google about it. There, for every solution, for every question, sorry, for every question, Google is the answer. Just Google it. And can we apply? Yeah. So concluding on that. So it can be applied into Google as a fresher. Yes, definitely you can apply into any of the organizations as a fresher. But as I say, that the tier one organization, they prefer the candidates from IITs and NITs, because they have a taboo that the people who are IITs and NITs, they are the only brilliant minded. It's nothing like that. But even my friends, like one of my friend was there, he was first working into the Samsung is also a very good product based organization, and 3 years later he is now working in Google. So as a fresh, coming back to your question, yes, you can apply, but as I say, it is comparatively difficult to get into it, because there is another culture, I guess you might have heard about, is uh, okay, so it is like that. How do they hire is like, they have a culture basically, that they bring the third year students. I forgot that, for the summer training, like what we used to have post third year. So they used to call uh, you know uh, I was sorry, students for third year training and fourth year training. I knew, maybe some of it would be helpful for some of you, but if you can apply for that, maybe summer training or something, for Google or any of this tier one organization, like Adobe does that, Google does that. I'm not sure about the Microsoft, but I have seen when I was in Adobe that third year summer interns were there. So once you get into such organization, then as a fresher, it is very easy for you to get into, because you will be having that in your resume that I have done my summer internship with this. And how to apply for that is, go to their website, or then again, it's most the thing is, referrals are very important for the internship and for the fresher level entry as well. Referrals are the most important thing, because other than that, it is difficult but not impossible. So go ahead, applied for it, no problem. Even I did when I was in my final year. I just opened Facebook and I applied for it, just for fun. But you can do it, there are no charges for it. Definitely apply. And otherwise, I would suggest that if you are very much keen into it, find out the referrals. Then, ma'am, please share your PPT for future reference. Surely I'll forward this to um, Ayush sir, and he can share with you all. I'll hand it over to him. It IT having opportunity for BCA students as well. See, yes, definitely. What happens is that, okay, so yes, see, your graduation, yes, everything matters, but not to that level. What matters mainly is your knowledge. Even though if I have seen many of the people who are BCA, BBA, or BSc students, BSc is somewhat similar to BTech, but if you have uh, if you have those skills anywhere, I won't suggest, I won't recommend you that go to that institute and learn the coding. Everything is available on internet, on Google, on YouTube. Learn. If you have that, create your job portal account, create your Naukri account. Okay? And there are multiple organizations who hire candidates. So irrespective of what you have done in the graduation, yes, at fresher level does matter a little bit, but that doesn't mean that you cannot have a job in IT industry. You can definitely have, create your Naukri account and see what kind of references, replies you are getting from it. But it's I mean, you can definitely get a job in IT, doesn't matter. Ma'am, are you from MIT or MIET? I am from MIT, 2015 IT batch pass out. So here ends the questions. And sir, I'll stop sharing my screen. I forgot to share, unshare that. What am I doing? Sorry. So any more questions? I mean, all the questions which were there, I have answered them.
Yes, should be.
Okay.
You have answered each and every question, and I think you have made everything clear for the
Yeah, sir, there
freshers.
is one more question from one guy,
Okay,
that
okay.
how we can create an account, ma'am, which you are suggesting this time. So you can directly go to Google, type www.linkedin.com. Go to it, sign up. Sign up is the word which, with any of the website you wanted to create an account, go sign up, enter your details like your name, profile, everything what you are working, a small introduction. Like if you are a fresher, you can type there that I'm a fresher looking for a job, and I have these this I mean knowledge, like for example Java knowledge, Python. It does ask you all your skills, from which college you have done, or from which university you have done your graduation, post graduation, or anything. You can fill up all your data over there and then start sending invites. You'll see the people, basically the HRs of the different organizations, start sending them the request. They'll add you to their network, and then you'll be exposed to much people. And you can also, it's a more or less similar to like Facebook. You have your wall, you can post there that I'm a fresher, or I'm so person with this much years of experience, and I'm looking for a job. So that's easy. And even though if you are not able, if you found it difficult, you go to the YouTube, see how to create an account on LinkedIn. I am sure definitely you'll find how to create an account on LinkedIn, but that's not that much difficult. Sign up is the option. Sorry, yes,
I have a
sir.
question for you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Surbi?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Surbi, I have a question. When you enter the corporate world, were you satisfied by the training provided by you, by MIT to you? I am very sure that you must have worked with people from IITs, NITs, and other prestigious colleges. So, were you confident of the training that MIT provided you when you entered the corporate world?
Yes, I was. I mean, because of that only I was able to, those were my learning. So because there are a few core subjects which are, provided. I mean, which we study in our curriculum, and that's what coming to picture. So I still would like to give the credit to my HOD Mohit sir, because the way he started. I mean, he taught us, subjects like computer organization. Those are phenomenal. I mean, I haven't met any of the faculty like him, like the way he used to taught us, because he was also an industry guy. And again, that was brilliant. So the way he taught us, it actually helped me to crack the interview and to understand into the organization, because more or less curriculum is same for all the students across the BTech. So like what we have studied is the same what they have studied. Now it comes to an individual, that how much they can enhance on themselves. And so most importantly thing is, if you understand the concepts what you are studying, irrespective of any college, you will be able to make it. So definitely, so college plays an important role, irrespective of if you belong to an IIT or if you are from MIT. That doesn't matter.
Well said. Uh, Ayush, I think there are no more questions. Surbi, I am Vishwas. I had the brand MIT. I thank you very much. Again, I'm very proud that somebody like you is carrying the flag of MIT and making everyone who is associated with MIT proud. Uh, uh, Fortunately, unfortunately, I had never had the opportunity to meet you, but once the COVID is and once the colleges are open, I am very sure that one day we'll be able to invite you and we can hear you in person and not through this virtual world. So we look forward to the day when you can personally come and motivate your juniors and motivate the students who are studying in MIT currently. I will congratulate the faculty members who have trained you and trained such a brilliant kid like you. My congratulations to Naveen sir again for producing another gem. He keeps surprising us every week with a gem and then leaves us speechless and we are like left with nothing but a sense of pride that okay, this student has walked out of MIT and today is making the college proud.
Yes,
So
Swati, we are very, very much proud of all of them. They,
I'm Navinja, I'm very thankful to you. I think every week you surprise us, and every week the surprise is bigger than the last surprise.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
should be my heartiest congratulations to you.
Thank you.
It was a very enlightening talk, and I am very proud of you. At such a young age, you were so you had a command over your subject, your language skills, the presentation skills, everything. It just gives me immense proud and makes me feel, a learner again. Having worked for 20 years, listening to a kid like you, it makes me pick my book up again and learn from kids like you, because you have so much to offer. And I think everyone in the crowd who is a teacher, faculty, student must be feeling the same way, that we want to be like you. So my heartiest congratulations to you for
Thank
being
you,
such
sir.
an outstanding kid, and do well, grow up, and very soon come in person, and and meet us in MIT, and meet your juniors there, and motivate them as the way you have done today. All my good wishes to
Definitely,
you.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you again,
Ayush,
Surbhi.
Thank you, sir.
so I think Naveen sir,
Yeah, we
last
shall.
word of thanks, and we should wrap up.
Yes, yes, we can wrap up. And thank you, Surbhi, once again. And do good everything in life. And I would like to wish you a bright career and bright future. And thank you each and everyone from the attendees size. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
take care, and bye for the day.
Bye. Thank you, sir.
Stay safe, everybody. Stay safe. Happy weekend. I'm sorry, there's a very little time left in the weekend, but enjoy the weekend, and see you next week with another episode of Alumni Connect.
Yeah.
Ayush, you're doing a wonderful job. My congratulations to you, especially.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
And thank you, Survi, once again for such a delightful session today. And we are looking forward for more sessions from your side again.